Hey, welcome. Today, we are going to completely flip the way you think about your goals. Seriously, we're not talking about more willpower or some new motivation hack. We're diving into a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. Because the absolute best way to change your habits isn't to focus on what you want to get, but on who you want to become. So let's get into how this actually works.
So let's just start with a question we can all feel in our bones, right? Why do our New Year's resolutions, or let's be honest, any big goal we set just seem to fizzle out? You know, that burst of motivation is there, and then poof, it's gone by February. It's super frustrating, but the reason probably isn't what you think. It's not that you're lazy. The problem is baked right into the goal itself.
You know the drill, right? We all set goals like these. They're specific, they're measurable, and they are 100% focused on the outcome. This is what's called the outcome-based approach. You pick a result you want, and then you try to white-knuckle your way through the actions to get there. It sounds logical, but it's exactly where we all go wrong.
And that leads us right into our first big idea, the goal-setting trap. See, this whole conventional wisdom of just staring at the finish line, that's the trap. It's precisely why so many of us get stuck in this cycle of starting and stopping, feeling fired up one day and then completely drained the next.
So here's the real problem with that approach. When your entire focus is on the outcome, that number on the scale or the money in the bank, your motivation is tied to a string. The second that progress feels slow or life just gets in the way, that string gets cut and the motivation is gone. You haven't actually changed the beliefs that are running the show, so you just snap right back to your old self.
So, what's the alternative? Well, this is where the game completely changes. Instead of hammering away at the what, we're going to start focusing on the who. It is time for a serious shift in perspective, a shift in your identity.
Okay, this slide right here, this is the heart of it. We almost always start by asking, what do I want to achieve? That's all about an external goal. But a much, much more powerful question is, who do I want to become? See that question? That's about an internal transformation, and it changes absolutely everything.
Let's make this crystal clear. The goal isn't to lose weight. The goal is to become a healthy person, because a healthy person makes healthy choices naturally. The goal isn't just to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. A runner runs, even on the days they don't feel like it, because that is who they are. Can you feel the power difference in those statements?
So why does this work so much better? It's not just some clever word game, It's about tapping directly into your core psychology. Think of your identity as the operating system for your habits. It's the set of beliefs you hold about yourself, and it is the most powerful force driving your behavior.
The author James Clear breaks this down into 3 layers. Most of us try to change from the outside in. We focus on the outcome, hope that forces us to change our actions, and maybe, just maybe, that'll eventually change how we see ourselves. It's backwards. Real, lasting change works from the inside out. You start by changing your identity, your beliefs. That makes the actions feel natural. And the outcomes? They're just the result of the person you've become.
Let's see this in the real world with a classic example. Imagine 2 people trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says this, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." Now what is that person really saying? They're saying they are still a smoker who is trying to resist their true nature. They're literally fighting their own identity. Okay, now for the second person. They get offered a cigarette and they say, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Whoa! The difference is subtle, but it is profound. This isn't someone who's trying anymore. It's a statement of fact about who they are. The internal battle is just over. That is the power of an identity shift.
And this leads to this amazing way of thinking about your habits. Every single action you take is like casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. Going to the gym, even for 10 minutes, that's a vote for I am a fit person. Writing one single paragraph, that's a vote for I am a writer. These small votes add up, day after day, building a mountain of evidence that proves your new identity.
All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually do it? Perfect question. Let's get practical and talk about the plan. And trust me, it's way simpler than you think.
It really just boils down to these 2 simple steps. First, you decide who you want to be. And don't just pick something you think you should be. Pick an identity that genuinely excites you. Then, and this is the most important part,
You start proving it to yourself with ridiculously small wins. You don't build a new identity with one giant heroic effort. You build it with tiny, consistent actions.
And an awesome tool for this is the 2-minute rule. Whatever new habit you're trying to build, you just shrink it down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do. So you want to become a reader? The new habit isn't read a chapter. The new habit is read 1 page. This isn't about getting results right away. It's about making it easy to cast that vote for your new identity every single day.
Okay, let's walk through one more quick example. Let's say you've picked your new identity. You've decided, I am a writer. That is your new core belief about yourself. Now you use that 2-minute rule. Your action for the day is just to write 1 single sentence. That's it. It's so easy, it's almost impossible to say no. But by doing it, you've just cast a small, powerful vote. You now have real, physical evidence that you are in fact a writer. And tomorrow, you just do it again.
So as we start to wrap this up, the focus really shifts over to you. It's all about taking this idea and just casting that very first vote for the person you want to become. Because as soon as you do, a really powerful ripple effect starts to take over.
See, the real magic happens when your identity becomes so solid that your habits just become automatic. You stop fighting yourself. A truly healthy person doesn't have a big debate about eating a salad, it's just what they do. A learner is just naturally curious. When your actions are aligned with who you believe you are, that need for brute force motivation, it just melts away.
So just remember this. Stop focusing only on what you want to achieve. Start focusing on who you need to become to make those achievements inevitable. The outcomes you want are just a lagging measure of the identity you choose to live.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about your to-do list for just a minute and just ask yourself, who do you really want to become? And what's the smallest possible vote you can cast for that person today? Thanks for joining me.